First of all, thank you very much indeed for coming to join us today. We really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here.
So let's start off. What distinguishes physical review journals from other journals, competitors, shall we say?
I think a lot of it is in the history. I mean, physical review started more than 100 years ago,
Gosh.
and in that time, right, they've published Nobel Prize winning research, groundbreaking results that kind of set the stage for research to come. But another big piece of it, I think, is how steeped in the research community the journals are, and that comes from being part of the American Physical Society, which is driven by its mission to get research out there, and that's what the journals do. But it's also in how researchers contribute to the journals, both in, we're very lucky to have top scientists who contribute to the journals as editors, as leaders, on our advisory boards, and I think that lets us kind of both reflect how research is changing, the topics people are studying, and the voices that are emerging, but it also lets us influence it in a positive way.
So a lot of people here, obviously, and how does somebody figure out, because you've got quite a portfolio of titles within the family, how does people work out, kind of how things overlap and where they should aim their article?
Well, I think the overlap is important because there aren't sharp boundaries in research either between topics and sort of the way people pursue problems. But I think a big piece of it is the audience that you're trying to reach. Are you trying to go for sort of more a community that's working on applications-oriented research? Are you trying to reach an audience that's, say, focused on design of materials? Are you trying to reach more of a fundamental physics audience? So that we want to offer as many options as possible to researchers. And I think one way for a scientist to choose is to literally just take a look at the journals. What have they published recently? What flavor of research is kind of in a recent issue? But the other is, ask. We would love to hear from researchers. We're happy to guide and give advice about which is the appropriate journal.
One of the things that grabs you when you're at this particular meeting, isn't it, is the global scale of everything, and people are from all over, aren't they? And you reflect that as well in your journals, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's more often than not that when a paper comes in, it has authors from multiple countries, and as the journals kind of grow and evolve, we want to make sure we don't do anything that gets in the way of that sort of collaboration. I think you also see the international aspect of the journals kind of in who is contributing to them. So we rely on a very international pool of referees to advise on papers. And we just announced our outstanding referees for 2023. There are 150 and they cover 30 different countries. So you can see the international aspect there. But then it's, like I said, because we're part of the community, the people that are contributing to the journals as editors and on our advisory boards, they come from all over the world. And that's important because you want to be guided not only by their expertise, but also by where they are and what they're experiencing.
My final question is, it's very obvious talking to you, Jessica, how passionate you are about, what you're doing. Why is that?
Well, I think that academic research has a kind of timeless quality to it, but at the same time, if you want to really represent research and researchers, you have to move with the times. How are values changing in the research community? And I find it a fascinating problem to connect that timeless quality to the need to evolve and change. Plus, I think to do that well means talking to a lot of people and listening. And I love both of those things, and I love the personalities that come out of research because the people who do science are so excited by what they're doing. They're very passionate, and that comes across pretty much in any conversation you have, and I think that makes the job a joy.
Well, thank you very much indeed for joining us today. Really appreciate it, and good luck for the rest of the conference. Thanks
so much.